guys, good evening, and what is going on? This is, fix my hair a little bit. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am back after a couple hours ago doing my SmackDown review. I am back from having a brief family get-together. Hang on, if I must show also. Don't worry. Excluding the times where we're putting food in our mouths, I wore this sucker. Stay safe, people. Which, of course, I have to wear this to work for the time being. But I'm back. My belly is stuffed with pizza. Ate 2 slices of bacon pizza for my uncle. But I am back, and I'm back home now. And I am here live for my live preview and predictions for WWE Money in the Bank 2020. That is taking place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And also, the Money in the Bank ladder matches are taking place at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. Of course, we're going to take a look at all technically 8 matches. 7 or 8 matches that are going to happen. But I say 7 because I have heard speculations and I've heard the rumors, which is why, of course, I include them in the same graphic. And apparently, both the men's and the women's Money in the Bank ladder matches will take place at the same time. There will be chaos going from the bottom floor to the top floor to the roof of WWE headquarters for the Money in the Bank ladder matches. Other than that, this card's not really that enthusiastic to me. I mean, Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman interest me because of their history, but it still doesn't feel like it's going to be anything too special. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins could be a good match. I'm actually looking forward to that match, except for one little flaw in the story, which we'll get to that in a second. That Fatal 4-Way Tag match shouldn't be bad, but other than that, I don't really expect much from this show. And to be honest, I'm excited to see how the ladder matches turn out because of them being at the Performance Center. But my question is there really anybody you want to see that bad win Money in the Bank? People in that match, I wouldn't either take seriously as Mr. Money in the Bank, or people that I feel don't really need the briefcase. Oh, I'm sorry, I said briefcase. You're not allowed to say briefcase. And apparently, the latest rumor is also you're not allowed to say non-title match. So what are they going to call him now, Vince? Huh? What are they going to call him now? Huh? Who knows? But we'll talk about this card. I mean, those matches they are what they are. They're whatever. Not that spectacular. Not pay-per-view. There's one, of course, you all know I am not excited for at all because I think it's absolutely stupid. I'm sorry. Stupid! So, let's roll into this. Let's see what we got. First, I see some action in the live chat. What do we got? We've got Mark and Dakota. What's up, Mark? Say, how are you? I'm not too bad. Full belly, but I'm doing pretty good. Dakota says, I wonder if they will add Hardy versus Sheamus to the show. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you heard the news, buddy, but Jeff Hardy's taking on somebody else. He's not taking on Sheamus, but he's taking on someone else. It was confirmed, but I will get to that shortly. They should throw AJ off the roof. I mean, he was the one who pitched it, so he may get thrown off, but that's definitely going to throw off my prediction for sure. He thinks it'll be Alistair and Nia Jax to go win the Money in the Bank briefcases. It's possible. So is Sheamus just going to get fed to Jeff? Oh, someone else is getting fed to Jeff. I wonder how this is going to work, because they said the men and women in the bank, Money in the Bank participants are supposed to be competing at the same time. Yeah, what if one reaches for the wrong briefcase? No, in WWE, it could happen. It wouldn't surprise me. I think Jeff will win the title one last time. Oh, at some point, they're going to give Jeff the title. They're going to put the title on Jeff and kiss his ass just so he does not leave and go to AEW like his brother did. That's why they're kissing his ass right now. Mark thinks Bray's going to get his title back. Dakota wants Alistair. And Bayley and Drew retain the titles as well. There's going to be a lot of title retaining. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no titles changing hands. Well, I'm sorry. I'm hoping, for at least one. There's a second one I may see happening, which we'll get to that in just a second. But, guys, keep yourself coming to live chat. We only have 7 predictions. Well, 8 predictions we'll go over. Last I heard, there was no pre-show matches announced. But, of course, there were 2 matches announced today that were added to the card. Which, of course, as always, I will do the best I can to kind of predict these matches in the order of how I think they will happen on the card, as I normally would do so. So let's get rolling and see what we got here. So the first match to kick off the show, as I usually say, what a better way to kick off the show than a hot tag match. Well, not the hottest tag match, but could still be a solid tag match between these 4 teams. The New Days, Big E and Kofi Kingston. The Dirt Sheets, Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho. Miz and Morrison. Hey, ho, ho. Take on Lucha House Party and the Forgotten Sons. So, obviously, Miz and Morrison lost the tag titles in a triple threat singles match. It was between the 3 members of the Usos, Miz and Morrison, and the New Day, who did not get to compete at WrestleMania because Miz was not able to compete then in that pretty good ladder match. So obviously they want their rematch. But we had Lucha House Party defeat the number 1 contenders. And then in a non-title match, I'm sorry, I said a new phrase that Vince does not like. I'm in trouble here. I'm still surprised Vince has never blocked me on Twitter yet. Anyways, and the Forgotten Sons, again, they beat the New Day in a non-title match. So obviously those 2 teams in some way kind of earned themselves into this match. Even though, once again, champions losing in non-title matches, it makes no sense. It makes them look weak. But, anyways. So, this is a tough one. I definitely don't see the Forgotten Sons winning this. And I'm kind of glad, they're kind of getting a shot. I mean, I've never been the hugest fan of the Forgotten Sons. I was impressed with their run when they were runners-up in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in 2019. I'll give them that. I did like that promo that they cut a couple weeks ago when this feud between these 4 teams kind of began. So kind of giving them a little bit of exposure on a pay-per-view in a Fatal 4-Way is fine. Because I feel like, they're not too centered of attention on, but they're getting some type of, experience at what I'll be on pay-per-view. Lucha House Party, still don't think too high of them. I was impressed, though, with some of the stuff they did, though, in the Elimination Chamber match they had a couple months ago. Miz and Morrison, of course, I definitely love them. They're an awesome group together. And New Day, well, I love New Day. I still think they need to take a break from this gimmick. It's been going on so long. Yes, I get they're trying to make them have the most tag title reigns. And, to be honest, they do deserve them. They definitely worked hard to make this gimmick work. This gimmick that was not supposed to work at first at all, being this bunch of clapping, happy, preachers and whatnot, and then they kind of changed up a little bit, became heels and whatnot, and they've gone to have some great runs to the tag titles. But I still think they need to take a break. Kofi Kingston, well, if he actually cares, had a good run, well, the best he could as WWE Champion. Big E, I still see a ton of single potential in him. Remember in the Rumble when he actually hit the big ending on Brock Lesnar? I popped when that happened. I'm like, that actually made me want to see Big E and Brock Lesnar. And I think, honestly, they should go all out and make Big E a singles heel. I think Big E should be the one, should turn heel on the New Day at some point, I think. Again, I think, we need to give him that chance. You can go back to the New Day gimmick eventually for, last run of their careers or something like that. You can do it. But if they have nothing really to do, take a break. Or at least let them do some more singles action. Give Big E some singles runs as well. His Intercontinental title run was not too bad when he had it back in 2013 and into 2014 before he dropped it back to Barrett. But, just give them a run. With that being said, though, of course, it's a little tough. And also, just to clarify, I've heard rumors that the reason why the Forgotten Sons got called up is because of Jimmy Uso's injury. So the Usos are definitely going to be gone for 6 to 9 months, unfortunately. With that being said, though, because there really isn't much for New Day to do with the tag titles, I think they should drop them back to Miz and Morrison. This is just to give them increase in number, I thought. There's no point in having long term, because really, I mean, the Forgotten Sons aren't ready yet to be tag champions, no doubt about it. Miz and Morrison can win them. You can do it. You can do the rematch. I mean, you could have had them feud with Miz and Morrison, feud with the Usos, but unfortunately they've been injured. I mean, you can still do Miz and Morrison. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a feud between Miz and Morrison and Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak. What do you say? I've liked the pairing so far with Bryan and Gulak. Give them something else to do. I think that would work as well. I mean, you could do, even like you hear, they're going to secretly split them up. Miz and Morrison and Heavy Machinery. Even though I still keep saying that, they probably. I still feel that it probably could have at some point put the tag titles on Ziggler and Rude, but Rude's not been seen for ages, maybe because of what's going on with the virus right now. But you could have done that, and that way you could have had added a little bit more to the Mandy Rose and Otis thing, and Dolph Ziggler and whatnot. But you could still do Miz and Morrison Heavy Machinery. Still a couple options, I would say, as a tag team for the tag team division. But obviously, again, there's just no depth in it at all. But I think they're going to drop the tag titles back to Miz and Morrison, and maybe do just that rematch. Just do the rematch at the next pay-per-view, make 2 out of 3 falls. Because I guess it's this whole idea of the New Day's never been able to beat us, in an actual tag team match, pretty much, or something like that. But I think that's my pick. I'm going to go with Miz and Morrison winning the tag titles back off the New Day. Maybe they don't pin the New Day. Maybe they'll pin Lucha House Party. Well, it's kind of nothing different from what they did on SmackDown this week. It was the 8-man tag match, the faces versus the heels. But I'm going to say Miz and Morrison win the tag titles off of the New Day. I think they're the hotter act, personally. I think they can actually do some more things with the titles than the New Day could right now. So, that's why my pick to win the first match is Miz and Morrison! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Alright, now let's move on to 2 matches that were announced today. The first one that was announced for today, and no joke, I'm not kidding you for those who haven't seen it yet, R-Truth and MVP. Explain how this is a pay-per-view match. I mean, I like R-Truth. I used to not like R-Truth, but ever since he moved to SmackDown in the 2018 Superstar Shake, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was that one. When he moved to SmackDown, I instantly think he's found his niche again or something like that. Because I just wasn't feeling him at all for the longest time. But then he actually became entertaining to me. And I actually thought he was funny. MVP, I thought he wasn't wrestling anymore. I don't get why he came back in the ring. He's not doing anything in the ring. I thought he was supposed to be just a manager and starting up some stable, which I'm still begging for to be with Apollo Crews, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. Not Apollo Crews, Shane Thorne, and Brendan Vink. Who cares about Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne and his I'm sorry, that cheesy theme song. Okay, I said in one of my earlier reviews, I like Shane Thorne in TM61. I wasn't too crazy about them when their heel run before Nick Miller left, but I don't get this. I don't understand why they're picking 2 random jobbers from NXT to be, basically the 2 of the members of MVP's stable. I don't really care about this match, I'll be honest. It's just random. You can see this match on Raw. Why are we doing it at a pay-per-view? There's no story behind it. If it was maybe MVP, Vink and Thorne, and like Ricochet, Cesaro, Alexander, like a mystery partner or something, then maybe. But that still sounds like more like a pre-show match. Like this match, if they were going to move any matches to pre-show, this should be on the pre-show. But alas, it's still happening. There's no story behind it at all. I'm gonna say, MVP wins this. It's not going to do anything really for me, but I'm going to say he wins this match. That's who I get. So that's what I'm going to pick for that match. Match number 3 involves Jeff Hardy, except, no joke, here's who he's facing. Cesaro. Jeff Hardy and Cesaro. Sounds like a solid match, right? But why is it happening? We should be getting Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, or to say his name's Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus we should be getting. Why are we getting Jeff Hardy and Cesaro? Makes no sense. It can still be a solid match, don't get me wrong. Like, this is one of those matches, like, remember last year at Stomping Grounds? I'm sorry, I haven't done it in ages. Stomping Grounds! I dare you, boom, 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 boom. I hated that song. Anyways, they had this random tag match with New Day, well, Big E, Xavier Woods taking on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And it was a good match, except there was absolutely no story behind it. That's how I feel about this. This could be a really good pay-per-view match. There's just no story. They could just, I mean, you know, last time I think Cesaro was actually involved in like a reasonable storyline on pay-per-view, what I could think of, was last summer at Extreme Rules, when he was basically the one to pick a fight with Aleister Black. And they put on, in my opinion, one of the best matches of Extreme Rules last year. And I think this could still be a good match. But once again, why is it happening? Again, this should be Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. But I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know, maybe something happened to Sheamus. Who the heck knows? But I'm picking Jeff Hardy to win this match. That's who I'm going to pick. Alright, let's check the live chat before I get to some of the bigger matches. Of course, one of them, I absolutely hate, but we're going to talk about anyways, of course. Let's check the live chat. We have some stuff in there. Let me see here. Dakota's saying Bray will win. The only way they can take the title off Bray is if he gets it back and not get a bad reaction. It's probably Jeff Hardy. Actually, here's the thing. If Bray wins the title back, I actually would like to see a match at SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt and Jeff Hardy. I think it would be a great match for the Universal title at SummerSlam, personally. I think that would be great. The Hackers, Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable and Dana Brooke. Well, why be Dana Brooke? But I still think the Hacker is going to be Mustafa Ali, though, I really think it's going to be him. How is Jeff Hardy still going full-time and Orton and Cena and Lesnar can't when Jeff has been doing it way longer than them? Guess he's not either committed to a bigger schedule as, like, Cena, but I don't know, I guess they're older and have more responsibilities off camera. Who knows? I wonder where Tucker is. That's what I'm wondering myself. I hope that they don't have Tucker turn on Otis. I'm sorry. No, there's no need to do that whole thing. We've seen it how many times. We need tag teams. Let Heavy Machinery actually have a run or two with the tag titles, as they should, because they're an entertaining team. I mean, this stuff with Otis and Mandy is going really good, and apparently Mandy Rose was the one who pitched the idea. I actually heard her interview on with Chris Valera, whatever his name is, here on YouTube. But like, again, don't split up Heavy Machinery. I'm scared they're going to because they threw Otis in this Money in the Bank ladder match. Let me see here. I wonder if the Hacker could be revealed tomorrow. What if it is CM Punk? I keep saying I'm not gonna. Okay. CM Punk, which I never did a video about when I came back. I got my channel back. CM Punk coming back to WWE to me was still one of the things where it's like I'm not gonna believe it unless I see it. Like him coming on WWE backstage was pretty awesome, but I still don't see him stepping back inside the ring. But if he was, of course, I mean, the truth be heard, he was the voice of the voiceless. It could work, and but I don't know. I still think it's going to be Mustafa Ali. Let me see here. I wonder if Mustafa is the hacker. Why is he so focused on tag teams? Kind of true about that. What if Tucker returns and costs Otis? Please don't. The bar member had Cesaro and Sheamus. Yeah, here's the other thing too. If both Cesaro and Sheamus are on the same brand, why not just put them back together? I mean, yes, I'm tired of Cesaro being stuck in tag teams, but it would have made sense. You know, they actually worked out well as a tag team. Or, also I keep saying, you could have them go on singles runs, or, you know, again, Cesaro could have feuded for, you know, the one like the WWE title when Kofi was champion or something like that, and just Sheamus being his heater or something like that. Well, Sheamus got hurt in the end after WrestleMania, but still, like they could have done that. Like, you know, they could put him back together. Like why is he randomly with Shinsuke Nakamura for no explanation whatsoever? They just have nothing else. He should have been a world champ. He should have had a world title shot at least one time in his career, but he hasn't because Vince is stubborn. Well, one-on-one at least. Not, you know, he's had, of course, the chamber match and whatnot, but, you know. So he has to go through Cesaro first. But again, they're not together, though. He thinks Jeff will squash Cesaro. He better not. He also said, do I have everybody's attention, which is what he said. Gable was unscramble as one of the voices. So was Ali and Xavier Woods. Again, we'll see. Maybe. Who knows? But again, I highly doubt it's Punk. But if it's Punk, I'll be like, okay, you got me again. It's still one of those things where it's like he has to actually return for me to believe it, because I really don't see Punk ever coming back into a WWE ring. I mean, again, he's on WWE backstage, but that's through Fox. It's not through WWE also. But again, that's just my theory about it. But let's move on now to the next match for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre versus the Monday Night Messiah, Seth freaking Rollins. Now, the story of this match kind of works. Seth Rollins, again, still believes he's Jesus. No, sorry. He believes he is a leader. He believes he is what Monday Night needs to take this show to a whole nother level. Basically, going off how he came across on Twitter when he was Universal Champion last year, and basically got everybody to turn on him because he kept his mouth. He put his foot in his mouth where it didn't belong and whatnot. So now, with Drew McIntyre having to go all this way to become WWE Champion, and finally does, Seth Rollins thinks that Drew can't handle it, so he needs to, do McIntyre a favor and take away this pain and suffering for him, because he thinks he knows best. Okay, it works. Here's one problem, though. With this feud, since it just started at the beginning. Well, I'll put it this way also. Last year, I felt that Drew McIntyre should have been the one to dethrone Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. I felt that Rollins should just go in for a long Universal title run, and at SummerSlam, have him drop it to McIntyre. That's what I thought they should do. But then, of course, they threw McIntyre as being one of Shane McMahon's random-ass cronies, and then he got injured and was gone for about 2 months or something like that. But, of course, they made things right this year, except for the 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, that countdown thing's just so corny for me. But they've actually made Drew McIntyre into a star. But here's the one problem. One teensy-weensy little problem I have with this match. Come here, guys. Get a little closer. Just a little closer. Yeah. He lost at WrestleMania! He lost at WrestleMania to Kevin Owens. Now, I've heard reasons why Kevin Owens have been absent lately. It's because he apparently has an ankle injury, but I don't think he's going to be out for too long, I don't think. Okay. But Seth Rollins is getting a title shot after he lost at WrestleMania. The only match Seth Rollins has had since WrestleMania was the night after WrestleMania. He came out with this deranged look on his face and squashed Denzel Dejournette, who's been used for how many squash matches, both on the main roster and NXT. But Seth Rollins has done nothing since that loss to earn a championship match. What sense does this make? Like, years ago when I was in karate, if I was sparring in the Final Four, I lost, right? I'm not going to be, fighting for second place, or fighting for first place still, am I? No. I was going down to fight for third or fourth. That's where I was fighting for. How does Seth Rollins earn a title opportunity from losing to Drew McIntyre? Losing to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I'm sorry. This match is going to be good, but it's just that this thing I keep saying for years. WWE is super inconsistent with how people get title opportunities. And in my opinion, Seth Rollins should not be getting a title opportunity because he's done nothing. At least, okay, you can make this argument. In 2016, AJ Styles lost at WrestleMania 32. But the next night on Raw, he won a fatal 4-way match to earn his number one contendership. Even though, okay, I'll be real, maybe, they couldn't have given him that opportunity because he lost at WrestleMania. But, keep in mind, he had been going back and forth with his wins lately. Okay, Seth Rollins had been winning a lot. But it's not like he lost his last match before he was declared number one contender. How does it make any sense for Seth Rollins to be the number one contender of for the world title when he loses at WrestleMania? So you're telling me you had us have a 5-month feud with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and all their other cronies around him just for Kevin Owens to win, finally shove Seth Rollins. Yet Rollins is getting rewarded with a main event title opportunity. And, okay, Owens is injured, but what was the plan for Kevin Owens? With that being said, though, that nitpick aside, that I ranted about for quite a bit, I still think this will be a good match. It is definitely a match caliber being the main event of this pay-per-view. I think it's a possibility it could be. I don't think it is going to be, though. So, with that being said, I still think Drew will retain. Seth Rollins is not the right person for him to drop the title to. No. Eventually it could be like Aleister Black, maybe. AJ Styles, if they want to get him back on track. I'm trying to think who else really is on Raw right now who could win the title off of him. I don't know. But McIntyre is going to retain here over the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. He'll move on from there. To who? I don't know, but we'll see. But I'm going to say McIntyre retains the title here. Here's the match, though, that I wish I did not have to talk about. I wish I could have not watched tomorrow or anything. Because, okay, if this made no sense how it happened, what about this match? For the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Tamina. Like Seth Rollins, Tamina lost at WrestleMania. But to her it was, you didn't beat me. It took 4 people to beat me at WrestleMania. Yeah, and one of them included Bayley, who pinned you. You can't beat me. She did beat you. You can't beat me. She beat you. You can't beat me. You were beaten at WrestleMania. It's not like you got taken up at count out or something like that. You were beaten at WrestleMania. You were pinned. 1, 2, 3. You're gone. Okay? Also, Tamina has not barely comes around. She'll pop her head in one or two times for a cup of coffee, just to copy Charlotte Flair's promos, do some other critical garbage that makes no sense. I'm sorry, I hate to trash on a woman, but I've never been a Tamina fan. I see nothing in her at all whatsoever. She's boring, she's flat, she's injured a lot, she has no promo skills, no juice in her promos. I'm sorry, I just never was a fan of Tamina. I don't know the person in real life, but as her character, I'm not behind it. And then there's Bayley, who I just ranted about in my SmackDown review earlier, that to me is slowly just become another Sami Zayn or another, just someone who just runs her mouth, doing stupid stuff like holding up Lacey Evans' daughter on a popsicle stick and just complaining about everything, and just sound like she's just running her mouth, literally getting Baron Corbin level heat from me pretty much at this point. She's not a good heel. She's not. She sounds okay. She's supposed to sound delusional, but like Seth Rollins sounds delusional, but it makes sense. Bayley, it does not, and it seems cheap. It's scripted, and I can't stand it. Although if there was other opponents I would much rather see, maybe I'd be able to stand this more. But the fact that she's wrestling, of all people, Tamina, this makes no sense. I have no desires. I never dreamed of this match. I never wanted to see it. And Tamina also is the babyface. Tamina Snuka is the babyface, and Bayley's the heel. So I'm sorry. I don't care about this match. I made this like treat this. If I go to the bathroom or if I'm hungry, anything takes more priority over this match. It's gonna be a terrible match, but Bayley's gonna retain. She'll lose every other time, but she's a typical heel champion. She'll lose all her other matches, yet she will retain somehow at a pay-per-view. Typical WWE one-on-one heel champion booking. Yeah. I just said that. So that's my pick for that lousy match. Match number 6. The Universal Championship match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Now here's the thing though. Is Bray Wyatt just wrestling as himself? Or is he going to be the Fiend? They've not teased any part of the Fiend for this match. Bray Wyatt has just always been coming out as himself. They did face-to-face and whatnot, but he's never even mentioned the Fiend or whatnot at all this entire feud. So something tells me we may be seeing just Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt wrestle. Just as Bray Wyatt. Like how he did when he faced The Miz at TLC. I do kind of enjoy this, and am kind of interested in this match. Again, because they have history. I actually, for a while, briefly didn't, but for a while, wanted to see this match. Because, again, of them having history. Again, though, Braun Strowman is just so flat right now. It's not even funny. Again, he didn't do himself any favors by what he said on Twitter. I heard he apparently feels bad about what he said, but I don't remember him doing a public apology. But to me, Braun Strowman, again, is only Universal Champion because they had nobody else. And that's a shame. Even if I was Braun Strowman right now, I feel hurt being Universal Champion. Because I know that I'm only in this position because WWE doesn't want me there. They need me there because they have nobody else. Because their golden boy, Roman Reigns, could decide to back out of WrestleMania because he cared more about things that mattered more than a 5th WrestleMania coronation against Goldberg. Which again, if that match was just Goldberg and Roman Reigns without the title, it would have been what it is. Hopefully it would not have been the main event of the show though. But with the title, nobody wanted to see that. Nobody wanted to see that, because who cares? Who freaking cares? And what was the point again of Goldberg being champion to begin with? Braun Strowman is champion again. It's only happening because they needed someone else. So WWE needed Braun Strowman to be champion, but yet Braun Strowman earned it like 2 or 3 years ago, and they couldn't give it to him then. He's just a transitional champion, unfortunately. So that wrestling comes to an end, and Bray Wyatt's winning the title back. Because honestly, again, what's Braun Strowman going to do with that championship? He lost to Sami Zayn Cesaro Nakamura at Elimination Chamber. They had no plans for him for WrestleMania, but then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you can have a Universal title match on Roman's not here. Just always in Roman's shadow. But Bray Wyatt should win the title back for sure. Keep it. Have him face Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam, I gotta say. Maybe Jeff will win, I don't know. But I think that would be a great feud for sure. The Fiend and the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. But, yeah, I'm picking Bray Wyatt to win the Universal Championship back. Before we get to the ladder matches, check the live chat again. Dakota has to go, basically. That's all we got. Thanks for joining us. Stop by, man. Alright. So now, let's get to it. The Money in the Bank ladder matches for the men and women. Again, rumors have had it, we've been hearing speculations that apparently these matches are taking place at the same time. Inside the WWE Performance Center from the bottom floor to the roof. So there's 6 for each match. Well, for the men, 6 men, 6 women. For the women, it's Dana Brooke, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. Try to remember in order how they qualify. I believe that's the order they qualify, or maybe in the Raw women first. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyways, so those are the 6 for the women. The 6 for the men are Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio, King Corbin, Otis, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, originally, Apollo Crews was supposed to be in that match, but a kayfabe injury got taken out of the match. But the fact that he was actually supposed to be in there gave him a little bit of a rub, because again, they're obviously setting him up for a big heel push. Because Paul Heyman's pretty high, which again, I'm looking forward to. But again, don't rush into the main event scene like he did with Jinder Mahal. Get ready to have a match at Stomping Grounds, wherever the June pay-per-view is, between Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Get ready, they're going to do it, because 3MB have a history. Yet, Jinder Mahal should be nowhere close to the main event scene. Heck, not even the mid-card scene at this point. I'm sorry. Not at all. But let's talk about these ladder matches for the contracts. Here's the thing. As I said at the beginning of this review, I am looking forward to seeing the production and the presentation of this match, with them doing something different. Again, the cinematic style matches they did at WrestleMania were great. The Boneyard match was awesome, and the Firefly Funhouse match was odd at first. We had to take it in, but it was still awesome. And it told great storytelling, great mind games. Basically had John Cena reverse psychology. Basically making Cena look like he was talking about himself the whole time and not Bray Wyatt. But here's a problem I have about these matches. Look at who's all in this match. Who really stands out to you that makes you want to say, oh my gosh, I am dying to see this person win? And the problem is because either one, these people, none of these 6 really need the briefcase, or 2, it's just that there's no depth. We got, for the women, we have Dana Brooke, who's been nothing but an enhancement talent on the main roster. Why would we want to see her win the briefcase? We have Asuka. Okay, I wouldn't mind seeing it, except for the fact that she's faced Becky Lynch how many times already? We've seen it. Shayna Baszler. I mean, maybe Shayna. Maybe. But she's already lost to Becky Lynch. If she didn't lose to Becky, maybe her getting the briefcase back would be like Brock Lesnar. Try to get another championship opportunity. I don't think she needs a briefcase for that. If it was somebody different, as champion right now, okay. And then we got Nia Jax. Hey! Really, the only woman one of the only few women on Raw Becky is not feuded with. And the thing is, as much as I can't stand Nia Jax, and think she's not a good worker, her and Becky should still have a feud because of their history. The face breaker and whatnot. All that's shenanigans. But my thing is you don't need to waste a briefcase on Nia Jax for Becky to feud Becky Lynch. Plus, also, Nia Jax should not be the one to take the title off of Becky Lynch. Yes, I get it, Becky's beaten everybody, but Nia Jax should not be champion because she's basically getting the same exact heel heat as the man to the left of her in this graphic, Baron Corbin. Nobody wants to see Nia Jax as champion. She's not a good worker. I'm sorry. She's injured so many people, and she goes, okay, if she's trying to play off her character and be a heel on Twitter, I get she's trying, but the way you're bragging about real kayfabe injuries, well, not kayfabe, not even kayfabe injuries, doesn't make you look good. So, I don't think Nia should be winning that briefcase. Lacey Evans. Not the time at all. Because one, she does not work as a babyface in my opinion. And two, she's feuded with Bayley and Sasha Banks for 5 freaking months. And she loses to them every single time. And was it really that great of a story that we want to see her get her comeuppance on the both of them? At this point, she's lost to them so many times, and the losses feel like there's no reason whatsoever. It's not a Daniel Bryan Cinderella story or a Johnny Gargano Cinderella story. No, it's not. And there's Carmella. I like Mella, but she doesn't really need it either. Like, what's she gonna do? What's Briefcase gonna do? Yes, of course, I think her and Bayley had a great match recently on SmackDown, but I still don't see her needing a briefcase. She doesn't need it. Honestly, if it was me, I would have put Mandy Rose in this match, given the briefcase to Mandy Rose. She just turned face. She has a good storyline going. Getting her involved in the title picture could work. Or Sasha Banks, who should have been in this match, could have won there. Those are my top 2 picks, honestly. Mandy Rose and Sasha Banks. But neither are in the match. So, if I had to pick a winner, I really think it's going to be Lacey Evans. I don't want it to be, but I'm picking Lacey Evans. Shayna maybe, but again, it's going to be typical 50-50 booking right now. She lost to Becky, then she's going to, cash in her contract and kind of, waste it in some ways. I don't really feel, again, besides Carmella, we have not had a long-term Miss Money in the Bank. We haven't. I'd like to see that. Because both Alexa Bliss and Bayley cashed in the same night they won the briefcase. And I would like to see a long-term holder of that briefcase. But I think they're going to give it to Lacey. I'm guessing that's my pick. I'm giving it to Lacey Evans. I'd rather have it on Lacey than Nia Jax. But I don't like that I'm picking that, but I'm picking Lacey Evans. Vince McMahon drools over her because of her. I got my blonde hair. I got my blue eyes. I got my big tits, big subs. Yeah, I went there. But I pick for the women. For the men, once again, who do you really think should win this match? And yes, one of my favorites, several of my favorites is in this match. And guys I like. Well, I basically like all the guys except for Corbin. Again, once again, I was so high on Corbin 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I wanted him to be Mr. Money in the Bank. And he was. I thought that was a great idea until they screwed it up and they turned him into something that nobody ever wanted to see happen. Just missed. Going from a, tough guy who took people out, looked like an unstoppable monster, it looked smart and intelligent, to just a dumbass. They're being a big old meanie to me. The referee didn't have me win the match. so I deserve a rematch. I get to pick the referee. Like, for no reason. He had nothing to back up his story, other than being just a big whiner. He's a wimp. He's a freaking wimp. He's a wimp. He's a complainer. He's one who doesn't earn anything, yet complains when he doesn't get what he wants. I'm sorry. He has, again, like I've said how many times, with being a heel, what makes you a great heel is having truth in your arguments. He never has any truth. Once in a blue moon, he'll do something good. He'll cut something good. Whether it's a promo, or he'll take out Becky Lynch. Like, he should be a fearless monster. Instead, he's just a little. He's a scaredy cat. He's a coward. He does nothing but talk. And guess what happens with cowards? They get boring! So he's definitely the one I do not want to see win this briefcase. He can't. Daniel Bryan, my all-time favorite. Love the guy. But he doesn't need the briefcase. Like, I like this role. He's kind of helping, Drew Gulak get built up and get over. I like that role. He doesn't need the briefcase right now. Aleister Black. Aleister Black could win the briefcase. But I still don't think he needs it. I mean, he could be built up with it, but I don't think he needs the briefcase. It feels the same way how I felt when Shinsuke Nakamura got called up 3 years ago. I didn't think Nakamura needed the briefcase. And I don't think Black does either. So that's why I don't really want to see him win it, because I don't think he needs it. Rey Mysterio? He's never won it. He's definitely a good addition for a ladder match. But I don't think he needs it either. Otis. My boy. Jealous of you, my homie. I don't think you need the brief. Right now is your time with the briefcase either. I mean, you're great, but I don't see you as a main eventer still right now. So I don't see Otis winning it. I'm hoping they give him and Heavy Machinery runs the tag titles. And then AJ Styles. AJ Styles is actually my pick to win this match. It's because, he's kind of on a new path. And yes, he's already won the WWE Championship a couple times in his career. He's been a multiple-time United States champion. Of course, he recently was just... This last time we saw him, he got buried into the ground. He got buried alive by The Undertaker in the Boneyard match. And he got buried. So what, as he says. He cut that great promo on Raw. But obviously, he's at a point where he's starting over, pretty much. He no longer has Gallows and Anderson. So there's no more OC. And obviously, he hit basically a dead end. So him, in this gauntlet match, earned his opportunity into Money in the Bank. I think he probably, out of the 6 of them, is the best pick, I still think. Give it to him. He's 42 now? 41? He's in his early 40s. He doesn't have too much time left. He said when his next contract, which I think he signed a 3-year deal last year, when that ends, I think that's when he's going to be done. Give it to him, have him build himself up, and honestly, if it leads to him having a feud eventually with Drew McIntyre for the WWE title, even if he takes a title off of McIntyre and or whatnot, fine. You know why? Because I don't think it's I'm not saying it's gonna be a waste, but I feel like someone else could have benefited from it. They could have put on Andrade or Angel Garza, not Austin Theory yet, or someone in Zelina Vega's crew. Or Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy, I think, would have been a great pick. I still think Buddy Murphy should have been in this match, especially if they're keeping him and Seth Rollins together, kind of like following in Seth Rollins' footsteps. Could have led to a match eventually with Murphy and Rollins, and that would be a good match. Again, if I had my pick for this year's Money in the Bank, it should be Buddy Murphy. But I think AJ Styles, with him kind of starting over, because I'll say this. I hated that Brock Lesnar had the contract last year, but what they did with Brock, if that was with someone else who could have used, like, the character revamp and the build and whatnot, that could have worked with anybody else, in my opinion. And I kind of think, maybe AJ, since he has time left, he has other people he wants to feud with. And I definitely want to see a match at some point with AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre. That sounds like a very fresh main event feud that could be an awesome match. I would like to see that. And, again, him as Money in the Bank for long term could, help him revamp a character again. I'd be interested to hear what he would call himself as Mr. Money in the Bank. Because he called himself the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp. He'll probably come up with some type of phrase as Mr. Money in the Bank. But, again, I'll accept like Aleister Black winning it, but I still don't think he needs it. I mean, any other ones, it'd be like, it is what it is. But again, definitely not Corbin. But I think my pick's going to be AJ Styles. I'm picking AJ Styles and Lacey Evans. Now, who's going to get knocked off the roof? I mean, Dakota has a good point. Or Mark, whichever one said it. AJ Styles mentioned it. For a heel to get his comeuppance, he could be the one to be knocked off the roof, as everyone's expecting. Although, it would be awesome to see King Corbin be the one to get knocked off the roof. But I think it's going to be AJ. AJ Styles, to me, is my pick for the men's 2020 Mr. Money in the Bank. And Lacey Evans will be the women's 2020 Miss Money in the Bank. Let's just go over my picks one more time. Besides those two, as I already mentioned, I got Miz and Morrison, hey, ho ho, winning the tag titles, the SmackDown tag titles, MVP over R-Truth, Jeff Hardy over Cesaro, Drew McIntyre retaining against Seth Rollins, Bayley retaining over Tamina, Bray Wyatt winning the title off of Braun Strowman, and then again, I said I wouldn't say it before, I'll say it now. And I have AJ Styles and Lacey Evans winning the Money in the Bank briefcases. So let's take away these notes. I don't need them anymore. And with that being said, guys, that will do it for my Money in the Bank 2020 preview and predictions. Guys, what are your thoughts? Are you excited for this pay-per-view? I'm not super excited. I'm expecting, at most, a decent show. I don't expect this pay-per-view to be that good. The only match that I may do live reactions for is the ladder matches. Because again, even though I'm not looking forward to seeing who's going to win, I'm looking forward to seeing the production, the presentation of the match. So I will do live reactions for that match only. And other than that, just leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. What are your picks? Slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. It's almost 9:45, so maybe I'll try to get to another part of my Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire Let's Play tonight. If not, maybe I'll do it tomorrow during the day. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for my live reactions for the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then I'll be live again for my Money in the Bank live review. So until then, guys, have a great night. Have a great rest of your evening. Be safe. Be smart. Make sure when times are needed. Wear these suckers. And I'll see you guys all later. Have a good night. Love you all. Peace out, everybody.